It's round 13 of the series. It's the last race before the summer break. We're in Budapest, Hungary for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So it's the last race before the summer break here in Hungary. Then we go on to a triple header when we return in a month's time in August. Belgium, Netherlands and Italy form part of the three races, the last ones in Europe. Then it's the flyaways again in Asia with Singapore and Japan as well in early October. A 2-week break before a double header, United States and Mexico. Another 2-week break and then we go to Brazil and the season rounds out the 20th of November in Abu Dhabi. Max Verstappen leads the title now by 63 points to Charles Leclerc.
Hello and welcome to qualifying for F1 at the Hungaroring, and it'll be an interesting qualifying, though it's been a very hectic day so far, and it will continue to be a hectic day until I think about 6 o'clock, or 9 in Joshua's case. Right, so right now we're at the Hungaroring, as I have mentioned. It's a track there are 3 sectors to worry about. Track distance of 3.461, I think it was, kilometers. Elevation of 34.6. I'm reading this off this screen, and it's in a very bad text for the weather they've chosen. Trust me. Right, so 3 different types of tyre. The C4, the C3 and the C2 are being used today. They're given the weather. I would go for wets. Or the intermediates. I would probably go for intermediate. So people have been favouring slicks today. So it's probably going to be that we get. Humidity levels are 77%, so pretty high. So I would expect the drivers to have a drink prepared.
Hopefully tea.
And as my co-commentator today, which is funny to say, usually Joshua gets to say that, alongside me is Ian Birch. Though he's not in the screen, he's like a ghost right now. He's just over there. So we're both too stubborn. He refuses to move, and I refuse to move the camera. Guarantee my thing is easier. And here's Joshua.
And I'm your dad, so I win.
Right, so the clouds are covering the circuit, and it did start to rain not so long ago, a little bit, in the end of the W Series race.
Came down quite heavily in practice 3 this morning, just before it started. Wet track for the entire practice 3 session. Quite a few went off. The Mercedes couldn't get any heat in the tyres. Neither could the Haas.
It looks pitch black out there. It reminds me of a night race. That's how dark it is there.
Charles Leclerc did brilliant. He did a 360 pirouette and managed to end up facing the right way.
Ah, skillful.
Hello, Megan.
It was good on board as well.
Button 5, Megan, is this screen here, which you can use during the session.
4 is driver tracker.
And 4 is your normal driver tracker. Remember, at the end, the last minute of every session, we need for the highlights tomorrow, bar Q3, which we use all of it. So good luck.
So basically, behave when it gets to there.
Yes.
And good. And
so basically, that means Dad don't talk over me. That basically just means Dad don't talk over me.
It's coming up to 3 o'clock.
I've already started recording everything else.
It's just coming up to 3 o'clock.
There are smoke. Okay, is that really necessary from them all? Having smoke bombs at a rainy track where the cloud coverage is already massive. Seriously, what the hell is going through the fans' minds?
Well, it's just a thing they do in that part of the world. It's creeping into football over here, and do you remember?
It's dangerous.
Do you remember at Austria the orange smoke from the flares
Max's didn't that
fans?
cause a spin?
I think it did in the end, but I think the spin was more to do with the tap from behind.
Yeah, caused by not being able to see people.
Yeah. There's the McLaren there of Lando Norris, possibly the best Brit this morning in practice 3.
Did he succeed really well?
And there is Pierre Gasly he usually does okay at this circuit.
He drove off with his visor still up.
It's not advisable, is it? Look at the
Right.
dark clouds behind.
Oh, it looks like nighttime.
Yeah, these clouds. We've looked at the weather forecast, and the clouds are intermittent. So you'll probably see some nice blue sky in some parts of the track, and look at that cloud.
Pitch black. Right, so...
The way that cloud's hanging, it could be thunderous.
Oh, that's not good. Any sign of thunder, then it'll be a red.
It's definitely going to be heavy rain at some point in this qualifying session, and
We'll
with
look forward to
qualifying
that.
with qualifying sessions, you know that it's not like practice sessions. The clock stops.
Right, so the drivers are heading out onto the tracks now, and it looks so far everyone has decided to go for the slicks. Personally, I would go for something else.
Well,
so
you
I
do-
guess they want to save that for the
you-
race, don't they?
You're going to burn them it's a dry track at the moment. You're going to burn the intermediates out, aren't you, if you put them on?
Yeah.
So
and
it's the best on this. And which slicks have they gone out on?
softs.
They've gone out on the red softs. Bit of brake dust there from the Red Bull.
I just saw that go green slightly. So did someone go off for a second? I don't think they did, because it's got to the time where it's meant to go green again, and it hasn't.
I think there's
So-
just water in the works.
Probably. So you can see
Yeah, that does
over
the-
half a circuit is dark and half kind of blue.
That cloud does actually look like it's a thunderous cloud.
It does. Do you know in cartoons when it's like a man's got a cloud over his head? It looks like that, though bigger, meaner, and it's more thunderous.
So what was the joke there?
It wasn't a joke.
Man got a cloud over his head. What do you call him? Rainy.
Raymond.
Rain Man. So 15 minutes of this Q1 left, and Megan has got the driver tracker working, haven't you?
And yes. The
Now
driver
we've got
tracker is
that one working. Is it working on your computer?
Yes, actually.
Oh, that's good. So
That's surprising.
we're doing better than Joshua usually does, because we've got 2 driver trackers working.
What is that? Please don't tell me that was raindrops.
No, I don't think
No.
so.
I think it might just be the reflection.
The Haas looking to get one in before it rains. Kevin Magnussen is going to be
We're getting the first
purple
sector
in the third
times.
sector.
Getting the first sector times in so far. So Stroll has just set the fastest one, and I think we're perfectly in sync on the driver tracker here. So Stroll set a 120.240. That's good. That's a good time to set. So far, he has not been beaten. Right now, in the order of the first runs that everyone's had, it goes Stroll, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Vettel, Schumacher, and Gasly. Although that changes immediately as Bottas makes his first run with a 119.930. It's good.
Yeah, a 19.930 for Bottas, but
Whoa.
Hamilton's just done a 19.732.
Yeah, Hamilton's really not trying to waste any time when it comes to him seeing that rain probably looming over his head. Oh, and Verstappen doesn't want to waste any time either, apparently, because he's just set a 119.020, getting very close to the 118s. I don't know whether we've had a 118 today.
Max, I think, was playing with us yesterday when he was suggesting that this wasn't really the track for the Red Bulls and that they would struggle here. I doubt it.
Russell has just set a 119.817, and then Perez has just also set a 119.839. So I think the Red Bulls really were playing.
Gasly returning to the pits. Let's hope that Charles isn't released into his path. That happened in a couple of times earlier on in practice 3. But it was for the
Leclerc
other
being
Ferrari,
released.
Sainz, twice. And
Leclerc being
or was it Ricardo? It was Ricardo, wasn't it?
Leclerc being released from the pit lane now to make his lap time. Though, Tsunoda and Gasly have decided after making one outlap to actually go back into the pit. You have rain looming and you go back into the pit. Okay, what is AlphaTauri doing?
Well, they know what they're doing. They've probably just scrubbed the set of tyres so that they can use them later if it keeps dry.
Yeah, though I had
Which is unlikely, or having a scrub set for the race tomorrow.
I think they need to strategize better because, trust me, I wouldn't go in right now. Literally, you've been out for like 6 minutes. And you're not exactly high up in where you are in positioning right now. I won't feel comfortable just leaving that with a possibility of rain.
Practice 3, the two Mercedes had a heck of a time getting some...
Hold on, sorry to interrupt. For Lando Norris has just gone up into second with a 1:19.534. Continue.
Yeah, but they've got a time in now. But I was expecting the time to be at least in Q1 to be 1:85. Rather than 1:19.
Yeah, I agree. Fernando Alonso just went fifth with a 1:19.823, and yeah, I would have expected that.
Yeah.
You would have thought. Why are they going so slowly?
I don't know, because this is the time when if you are going to have a wet session later on,
Get the times in now.
you get the times in as soon as possible. Yeah.
Yeah. What are they all doing?
There was one point in just before the end of practice 3 today where the bottom 4 cars were the 2 Red Bulls and the 2 Mercedes.
What is going on with them? Latifi was top.
So they were obviously saving tyres, those lot, or scrubbing the one set in at a time.
Obviously, they think they're going to be going through a lot of tyres, which also possibly means a lot more.
Remember,
pitch
you don't have as
passages.
many wet tyres or intermediates as you do dry tyres. So that could be a saving, saving them for the race or for Q3.
Verstappen's just gone top again. He's topped him.
And that's a lot better. 1:87.92.
Yeah. No, it's 1:18.
Yeah.
1:18.
Yeah, but we're only doing the. Everybody knows it's a minute, so we do 1:87.92. Just the last 3, last 2 digits, and and to the hundredths.
I still say 1:18.
Oh, don't get us started on things. Do you know, when you've got brainy people like Megan, sometimes practical things just go right above her head.
It doesn't go above my head.
Why it's autumn in Australia?
Shut up! I just don't understand how their holidays work. I mean,
they have holidays. Their summer holidays are in the winter.
Exactly.
In our winter.
It just confuses me.
Rachel, when she comes next week, she's coming from Australia next week.
Is she?
Yeah. So you should see her at the party.
So, right. So, going to read you through the top 10 because only one of the top 10 are in the pits and it's easier that way. Right, so first is Verstappen with a 1:18.792. Second, Perez. Third is Russell. Fourth is Sainz. Fifth, Norris. Sixth, Bottas. Seventh is Hamilton. Eighth, Alonso. Ricciardo is ninth. And 10th is Leclerc. So obviously Sainz is showing his prowess of being faster at the moment due to his new engine.
At the moment, in the drop zone, in the elimination zone, Ocon, Vettel, Tsunoda, Gasly, and Mick Schumacher. Now, I wonder if Mick Schumacher might end up by the end of the season in a greener car.
Maybe.
Because now let's say, do you reckon Seb will actually honour the last 10 races of the year? Or will...
No, of course he will. He's Seb.
Oh, I hope so, because I've always been a Seb fan.
Oh, Lando Norris has gone into second. He really is the fastest Brit on the grid right now. He's done a 118.998, 2/10 slower than at Verstappen's time. And we're on board with, is it? I can't tell. I think it's Sonoda. Since it says
That's Sonoda, isn't it?
no.
That was Gasly.
Gasly.
Looking,
They need their numbers on the halo so that we can actually see.
or even their name. A lot of them do nowadays, so that does help, doesn't it? By the way, Joshua is doing Formula E at the moment on another channel. So we've been left with Formula One, and Megan is. Have we got a chat open, or
I actually just got it open.
anybody say anything?
Yes, hold on. Turbo
Like,
says
why don't you two go home, like me and you?
we are. Right, so Turbo says, "Hey Megan, it's me, Abby, but I'm Turbo now. Been a while. This legendary moment where Latifi got a pole in FP3, it was legendary. I've never ever seen Latifi get a pole.
He used to do quite well in F2, and he had.
But then
he
kind of went down.
Yeah. When you get to this stage, though, I mean, I remember some of the drivers that have tested these cars in the last 6 months. They get out of them and say the difference in power and pull and the size of these cars is the main difference between them and the F2 cars. They're totally different beasts. I mean, but they've all got the same 18-inch wheels, so...
I have just noticed that Sainz has gone into second with a 118.561, Leclerc third, fourth is Hamilton, and a lot of the drivers are now making their way into the pit lane, though some of them are making their way out because they've been in there for like 10 minutes.
I'm going to put this towards our listeners, that Leclerc is making mistakes recently because finally Sainz has clicked with the car. And he's actually driving the car better than Leclerc.
So he's like, oh no, I'm actually...
Leclerc's been the number one driver at Ferrari for the last couple of years. And all of a sudden, Sainz is not playing the second driver role. Sainz looks more secure in that seat than Leclerc. I'm not saying they'll get rid of either of them, because you won't do that.
No, they won't get rid of them.
But in any sportsman's head,
he's feeling threatened.
He's feeling threatened, yeah.
He's thinking, I'm not going to be first driver anymore, am I? So,
well, if Sainz keeps driving, I mean, the other two races ago, the only reason he didn't finish was because his car caught fire.
Exactly.
And that led to him being back end of the grid for the following race, and he got, didn't he get fourth or third?
Third, I think.
Yeah.
No, fifth.
Fifth, was
No,
it?
fourth.
I
Yeah,
think
fifth.
it was fourth.
Fifth. Fourth? Fifth? One of the two, fourth or fifth.
This is where we need Joshua's F1 brain.
Yeah, he can literally recite every single world champion. He did it yesterday.
Did he?
Yeah.
Just to annoy you?
Yeah, well, I can recite a lot of things too, just not that.
Yeah, like the periodic table and things like that.
I feel like that's kind of gone out of my head. I've not done it in so long. I can still recite a bit.
So, qualifying one has 4 minutes to go. And at the moment in the relegation zone are Zhou, Latifi, Vettel, Tsunoda, and again Schumacher.
What is up with Mick? Because you say that
I was expecting more from the Haas.
You say you know it's going to be
not just one of
six.
the Haas's.
You say you know it's going to be one. So here's Mick Schumacher doing
Magnussen, just as I say that, Magnussen goes up into 8th position.
Yeah, but you say it's going to be... Oh, you know it's going to be a 1. So here we have Mick, who did a 6-minute lap.
And Mick just took himself out up into 9th place.
With a 119.164. It doesn't
That's
stop.
the opposite of the...
Doesn't stop Vettel having a 5-minute lap.
You know the commentator's curse? That's the opposite of it. Because I've just said about I was expecting more from Haas, and both of them jump up into the 8th and 9th position.
Zhou has just gone into 5th with a 118.973.
He's a local adopted lad.
What's happening?
He lives in Sheffield, that knows.
I know he does.
Right, down road. Road, that's Hull.
It is all.
Good luck town, by the way. First game of the season.
I have questions to how Zhou is 5th. What happened?
Well, actually, Zhou
Good for him.
is a very competent driver. He's one of the exciting young drivers. He has taken to this Alfa Romeo by storm, hasn't he? Is it Alfa Romeo or Tyrese?
Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo. And, we always knew from F2 that he was a brilliant driver. I mean, he's very good with his tyres as well.
He is. 2 minutes left to go then on qualifying 1 so far in the elimination zone is Albon, Bottas, Ocon, Ricciardo and Tsunoda. They all better get out of there quick, for the last lap time that Bottas set, which I'm hoping is opening lap, was a 7-minute one, which, how does it take you 7 minutes to get round a track? Seriously, what were you, crawling?
It can't be
were you on your
7
bike?
minutes. Who took 7 minutes?
Bottas, were you on your bike or something?
Well, that's got to be wrong, because Bottas has done a 1:19.626.
No, that's his best one. I'm talking about his last lap time.
You mean his outlap?
I'm talking about his last lap time.
I can't believe he did it. That's got to be
7 minutes,
an error.
40 seconds, .615.
Well, he must have stopped to take some photos. Maybe have a cup of tea or something.
Maybe, though doing a 7 minutes lap time, that's not good. Hamilton goes pole with a 118.374, and then Russell goes second with a 118.407.
Mysteriously, that Georgie Boy and Lewis have got some heat in them tyres all of a sudden.
And all of a sudden, so does Bottas, since he just did a 118.935, and so does Alonso, he just did a 118.716, and Danny Rick goes into 6th with a 118.775, and you can see other people trying desperate to get out of the elimination zone.
Vettel and Stroll are battling out in the relegation zone, and I think Vettel is not going to go through, along with Gasly, Latifi and Albon.
Right, so the checkered flag is now out for qualifying 1. Who will be the first to meet it? It's Gasly, who goes into 13th with a 119.116. Then it's Zhou, he stays in 10th, makes it through to Q2, hopefully. Right, then Lando Norris goes into 5th. Oh, and what's that? Gasly's lap time has been deleted, it looks like. He's eliminated from Q2. Q1.
And that could put Stroll into Q2.
Yeah, it could. And Stroll goes at 15th on his lap time. So who will be next? Hamilton stays.
It's really
first.
looking like Tsunoda, Albon, Vettel, Gasly and Latifi that are out in Q1.
It does look like that, though. Russell pits.
Great for the two Mercedes, though, and Sainz and Verstappen behind them. Lando, who was second this morning at one point, he's got 5th. Alonso, your favourite, 41-year-old. Did you know it was
Yes,
Fernando's
I did know it was his
birthday
yesterday, 41.
41.
Right.
And still showing that he can drive as well as he did in his 3rd or 4th season. I reckon that's the standard he's at.
Right, so everyone is now pitting. I'm pretty sure it's just the end of qualifying 1 right now. I'll take you through the results. First is Hamilton with a 118.374. Second is Russell. Third is Sainz. Fourth is Verstappen. Fifth, Norris. Alonso is sixth. Seventh is Ricciardo. Leclerc is eighth. Ocon is ninth. Bottas is 10th. Zhou makes it into Q2, which I think is either the first time or one of very few times he's made it this year into Q2. In 11th, Magnussen is 12th, Perez is 13th, Schumacher makes it into Q2 too. In 14th, Stroll, per the skin of his teeth, makes it through to Q2. In 15th, eliminated in qualifying 1 though is Zhou, Albon, Vettel and Gasly and Latifi. Not a good time for any of them, it looks like. Though it's definitely not good.
I was surprised that Perez did so badly in that session. Where did he end up? He was 15th.
13th.
Yeah, he was 15th at one time and in danger. Still, there are a few rumours going around that stupid rumours that Red Bull aren't giving him the same car as Max. Why would they do that when they're fighting for the Constructors' Championship?
I don't think they would do that.
No,
I
I
hope they
don't.
wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't risk. I mean, these are the people that the driver gets for winning the race $1 million as a bonus. And if you are preventing a driver, he's gonna, from having the possibility of that, he's not going to be very happy, and he would make a fuss about it, wouldn't it? So, all these rumours, I think, are a load of rubbish, don't you?
I think it would be a load of rubbish because I hardly doubt that Red Bull would purposely sabotage one of their drivers. I mean,
No, I don't.
it's just not good tactics.
I have a bit of fun at Christian's expense sometimes, but he's a very intelligent person who was over the years. He was only explaining this week to Martin how he was a driver in F3, and then he had to create his own team, and he loved it. He did everything from booking the hotel rooms to washing the lorries to like doing the VAT afterwards. And he's got no management training whatsoever. And you've got to admire the guy. It's a bit, Toto came up the similar way. Toto was a driver, but not to Formula One standard. But he had an engineering style background. And he was his first wife was the cousin of Niki Lauda.
Jeez.
And so that's where the friendship between him and Nicky came in. But Toto and Christian are geniuses at what they do. And people might be surprised after all I do call Christian Spice Boy, but that's because of his wife. His wife was a Spice Girl.
Right, I'm just going to check how the session's doing. If I could get this
I'm
up.
also a Binotto fan. I think Mattia is the right man for the job at Mercedes. I feel that his engineering background is the reason that the backroom staff have been able to develop that car in the last 2 years the way they have into a fighting force. If only they could get the statisticians. Can you say statisticians?
Statisticians.
Oh, well, you say it then instead of me.
Statisticians.
Right, thank you. She's done that. I think if they could get their act together.
Speaking of husband,
I do think that Sainz and Leclerc have had some really bad calls from their stats guys this year, don't you?
very much so.
I think they've thrown away the chance to lead this championship. They've got the fastest car, haven't they?
I would say
I reckon on the straight, I reckon on the straight, it's a tenth or half a tenth to a tenth faster on the straight than the Red Bull.
Maybe, though the most improved car, I think
it's.
What was it?
I think a few races ago,
it was either
the Mercedes was 7 tenths away.
Aston Martin.
7/10
most
away,
improved.
but it's only 4/10 now. You know, and I think that's improving all the time.
Aston Martin on the grid, though, are the most.
Little Chevrolet going past the
Yeah.
window. That means your mum's back and gone again.
Right, so qualifying 2 is now underway for 15 minutes.
Let's hope Perez can do better this time than he did in the first half, the first session.
Heading out onto the track right now is Hamilton, Russell, Magnussen and Schumacher. So we've got both fastest and both Mercedes. You can also see the 55 of Carlos Sainz making his way out. I wonder if he's going to give Leclerc a tow. Or is it Leclerc out? I saw 55.
Yeah, I don't. I think it's.
Oh, no. Leclerc is in front of Sainz.
Well, maybe it's his turn. I know at Mercedes they do a system where, you know, you've alternative races. You get the offer. It's not.
Like
You
right
know,
now.
one goes out at one time and then the other goes out the next race first.
Right now.
You're given the offer of going out first.
Right now, Hamilton was towing George Russell, though then Mick Schumacher got in the way of him. Lando Norris makes his way out onto the track too, as well as Sergio Perez, which means that Verstappen can't be far behind. And I bet you he isn't, I bet. There he is! Max Verstappen makes his way out onto the track properly. There's a bit of a distance between them, so they can't be doing a tow.
The one thing you can always say about the Hungarian race is that quite often it's the first race a driver wins. So I'm hoping that for George this week.
It's his turn.
Yeah.
See? Lap time, Hamilton, 8 minutes.
The last of that list is Ocon, who won last year for his first Grand Prix. Was here in Hungary last year. Doesn't seem a year since Ocon won, does it?
No, it doesn't. Also, how can it be 8 minutes?
Megan, you haven't got glasses, so I'm not going to ask you to put them on. It was 8 minutes.
Almost everyone.
We would like to apologise for the way Megan is reading her timing screen.
No, it says all 8 minutes.
All 8 minutes. Well, they've got 12 minutes left, so that's not the truth.
Exactly. What the world is going on?
Megan, you are live on air.
I know.
So, figure it out. You know.
I can't. I'm not a technician. Can't figure out things.
I have been impressed in this qualifying with the two Mercedes. The way they've been...
synchronised, basically.
No, not so much that as being... they are playing together today, but... you know,
Verstappen's got in between them now.
what do you think of this new... Ted keeps going on and on about the new SETI rear wing and diffuser.
I actually haven't heard anything.
I don't think he's doing any good. They were rubbish in the... Aston were rubbish in that first...
Aston's thing, the one that looks like a settee.
Yeah. I think they were rubbish in the first
They
in
were.
Q1.
They were.
So I think it's back to the old one for the next thing. And they, Ted was going mad over it.
Right, so the Ferraris are deciding to make their appearance since Leclerc's just topped the session. Oh, no! Now it's Lando Norris topping the session with a 118.121.
Dieter Renkin made a surprise appearance in the F1 show, if you saw.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, he walked in
I was busy.
when they were doing there's Crofty and thingy doing the SkyPad. And he tried to walk in front of them, and they caught a still of him at the time, and the look of shock on his face as I say, that camera's on, and he went the other way. I love Dieter when he's doing the press conferences, right? He always asks the brilliant questions that nobody else dare ask.
Right, so topping the session now is Max Verstappen with a 117.703, And
Locking up
it's
a bit there for the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton.
Christian says hi to everyone, and Michael says a lap time must be counting time in pit. I think you might be right. They might be counting the time in the pit lane, which I don't know why it's doing that. Or explain why Alonso's been in the pit has a 10-minute lap time though. So right, so 9 minutes 40 seconds to go now. Sainz enters the pit lane. Wonder how long his lap time's going to be. So I'll take you through the top 10 so far. Oh, race 11, Perez time deleted. Track limits at turn 5.
Perez have it still 14th place, no time set now.
Oh, that's not good. Right, so I'll take you through positions of everyone right now. So in first it is Max Verstappen with a 1:17.703. Then second Norris, third Leclerc, Sainz is fourth, Russell is fifth, sixth Hamilton, Stroll seventh, eighth Magnussen. Oh, and suddenly as I say that, Ocon makes his way up into third with a 1:18.714. So I'll have to take you through that all again.
Quite a few of them have had a rest in the pits, like you do in Q2. You know, you do your initial laps, then you go back in.
Sorry to interrupt, though. Fernando Alonso's just gone second with a 1:17.009.
I thought
04.
you'd notice that.
Did you see my reaction?
So look at this: Danny Ricciardo, green in 2 sectors, and Ricciardo's in
Ricciardo
fourth.
up into fourth. That's a 1:18.452.
It's the benefit of the fact that you can often, in this midsection where a lot of the main guys are in the thing, get some good run-ins because you're not bumping into other cars.
Here's a replay of Perez going off the track. Okay, we lost that lap for track limits at turn 13. Sorry, turn 5. No, I did not notice that the timing screen's gone off. So sorry, everyone. It's Saturday, what do we expect? Right, so I'll continue reading you through where everyone is. Right, so first is Verstappen, second Alonso, third Norris, fourth Ricciardo, Zhou is fifth.
Sorry about the break. Welcome back to Q2 in this F1 qualifier in Hungary. Verstappen currently is in the first position with 1:17.703. Leclerc is 6/10 behind him. Or is it 600ths behind him? No, 6/10. Alonso, much to Megan's happiness, is in third. Sainz and Hamilton follow, with Norris and Russell after that. Ricciardo, Perez and Zhou. In the elimination zone at the moment is Ocon, Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll and Schumacher. Car 11, Perez, his time has just been reinstated.
Oh, so it's been reinstated. Sorry for all the glitches that was going on. Sometimes my laptop likes to have temper tantrums. I don't know why, but my technology likes to act like it's human, like its owner. Though for some reason, all my technology has my personality.
But you're
I don't know
Romulan.
why. Though, yeah, it had a bit of a temper tantrum because of how much it's being used today and the fact that I haven't used it as much for the last few days.
So we're coming up to the best part of Q2, which is the last 2.5-3 minutes, which we're into now.
Right.
And Perez has gone up to 9th position.
I shall read out the order of where everyone is. Right, so first is Verstappen, second Leclerc, third is Alonso, fourth Sainz, fifth Hamilton, sixth Norris, Russell is seventh, Ricciardo 8th, ninth is Perez, and Zhou is in 10th. In the elimination zone, it is Ocon, Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll, and I was about to say Hassan. It's Mick Schumacher.
Mick Schumacher in the
Both
Haas.
Hasses are in the elimination zone, it looks like. So, not a good day for them. Definitely not their circuit, I would say.
No, we was expecting more from them, and then in Q1, all of a sudden they actually got into 7th and 8th position. So 7th and 8th isn't out of the window for them. It's certainly in their capabilities.
It is. Though,
2 minutes to go.
yeah. So 2 minutes to go in this session, and luckily we haven't had any rain.
No, we haven't had any rain. The dark clouds seem to have passed to the north of the circuit. Hamilton is in 5th. Sainz, Alonso, Leclerc and Verstappen lead the way.
Zhou is at risk right now. So let's hope he manages to get into Q3.
Last year's winner, Ocon, is in 11th place. And if you look at this, Stroll is green in 2 sectors. So that's a bit of a misleading caption, really, because that still puts Stroll in 14th.
It does.
So the driver at the risk at the moment is Zhou, the lad from Sheffield, with a 1:18.640.
Right, so I'll read you through the positionings again very, very quickly. Literally, I'm going to be speed reading through it. Right, so first is Verstappen with a 1:17.703. Hasn't changed in quite a few laps that they've done. Second, Leclerc. Third, Alonso. Fourth, Sainz. Hamilton 5th. Norris 6th. Russell 7th. 8th, Ricciardo. 9th, Perez. Zhou 10th. In the elimination zone, it's Ocon, Bottas, Magnussen, Stroll and Schumacher. Though as I say that, Bottas makes his way up into...
And Perez has into the drop
9th.
zone.
And Zhou and Perez now in the drop zone as Ocon also makes his way up into 8th. Obviously, a lot of determination there. So, checkered flag is now out for Q2. And let's see who we first to meet the line. It is Zhou. He does not move from the elimination zone, so he is out of Q2. And Perez is in the pit lane, so he is also out.
Perez out in Q2. That's a strange happening there. Got to be something wrong with that car.
There has to be. Stroll enters the pit lane too. He does not move on from Q2. It leaves only the Hasses. Will they try and get through? Magnussen's next to reach the line. And no, he decides to pit, though Danny Rick makes his way up into 8th with a 1:18.198.
He was 2 places behind his teammate in Q1 and also in Q2.
Leclerc crosses the line. Alonso's
Perez
in the
looks
pit lane.
really worried about this situation, as if Dr. Marco he'll be hoping they find something wrong with that car. Otherwise, it's Dr. Marco's office.
Perez radio. Magnussen, was blocked there.
Where?
Checo, he wasn't blocking you. He was just on the track with you.
At that part of the circuit, you come round the corner and go down really fast.
Yeah,
it's downhill really fast. You can't always see the person behind you, and it's one of those situations.
Yeah, he wasn't blocking you.
Yeah, the wing mirror is just showing the air.
Yeah, why is he... He's doing that a lot recently, I've noticed, saying people are blocking him. Just leave Magnussen alone.
Well, it's the old Red Bull way. It's if you remember in the last qualifying session last week, he also said similar things to try and get the stewards to look at something. It's just the Red Bull way. It's the way they play the game. It's
moving to full screen so you can see it as well.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's called playing the rules to the limit.
Right, so I'm going to be reading through the results of qualifying 2. Right, so first was Verstappen, second Leclerc, third was Alonso, fourth Sainz, fifth Hamilton, sixth Norris, seventh Russell, 8th Ricardo, 9th Ocon, and 10th Bottas, making his way into Q3, which it's not the first time this year he's made it into Q3, though definitely one of the few times. Though out of qualifying 2 was Perez, Zhou, Magnussen, Stroll, and Schumacher, and already out in Q1 were Tsunoda, Albon, Vettel, Gasly, and Latifi. So, what did you make of that little qualifying 2?
Well, I thought a lot of them were holding back a little bit. The surface is damp, but it's not wet, is it? It's about the best you can do. It's a cold surface, but a lot of them seem to be holding back. I don't think they want to really get rid of a set of tyres on a bad lap. And once they get there into a position in 8th or above, I think they were just holding back after that, just making sure that things. It wasn't a very exciting Q2, was it? Mind you, we're coming up to the bit that could be really exciting, which is, Megan, Q3.
Yes. I'm really curious to see who'll be on top in Q3 because we've had a lot of different people deciding to be
Well,
top.
We're back after the adverts. So radio, which we can't play the radio. Zoe was out of Q3 by a 10th.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Guan Yu, that is a good result, isn't it? He's accepted it the right way. He says he's quite happy with that. Did his best, and that's all you can. So, Lando Norris there with his tyre warmers on, and Benotto, the team principal of Ferrari, is currently talking to Crofty on Sky Sports. Whilst Megan looks at something, I think it's the chat.
No.
Well, what are you looking at then?
I can't say what I'm looking at.
Okay, that's fine.
Because it's a message.
It's a message. Is it from Joshua?
No.
Then that's fine. Why don't you actually do the commentary? I'll do it then for you. So, we're looking to the most exciting part of qualifying.
Which
I always
not
get
started
excited.
yet.
There's always 2 parts of Q3 as well, isn't there? There's the first run, then they wait 2 or 3 minutes, and then there's the last set of runs.
Yes, there is. Luckily, it's not as complicated as Formula E's.
Oh yeah, Megan did Formula E with myself earlier on, and it's set up like a football system where, you go to a knockout system where 2 race against each other until you get the final one.
Which I still don't really get. Why organise it that way?
Because it's different, and it just makes the series different to the other series. It's important when you've got a different type of that it's not just a copy of something like Formula One, that it's got its own. I mean, if you look how complicated, you think that's complicated. Look at the system that we now have in British touring cars, which is going on in the back room, and I can hear it in my ears now. Right? In British touring cars, they now have the new hybrid system where you have to work out the percentage of what you can use the hybrid power for during the race and during qualifying as well. You start off with your position in the table before the start of the race, and the people who are low down get more seconds to use their hybrid than the people at the top of the championship at the time. And then as it goes through, when you get to the races, your handicaps are based on that, on where you finished in qualifying. And it's the same. The ones who did well have less hybrid time than the others. They used to do this in other formulas as well, But at the moment, it's quite unique to the British touring cars, I believe. Of the series we do, anyway. So, Q3, Megan.
Right, so Q3 is about to get underway, and I'm surprised that the rain's held off, actually.
I am, but I'm thankful for it as well.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it's going to be raining at some point in the race tomorrow. And it just gives them those extra tyres that could actually make a race tomorrow instead of a tyre-saving wet race.
Hopefully it will give us a nice race.
Because I do like Hungary over the last, 20-odd years? Isn't it? Been 20 years, something like that? I do like it, because it's always a circuit, as I said earlier, that gives the opportunity of your first win. It's had a history of it over the years.
Right, so qualifying 3 is underway now, and I think the Ferraris want to be the first to make it out, and they look like they are. They've set Leclerc out, and I think they've set out Sainz too. The Alpines beat them, because the Alpines are first out alongside Danny Rick. And then it's the Ferraris. They just missed it. Privilege of being closer to the exit, I suppose. Though, right, making my way out onto the track now. We've got both McLarens, we've got both Ferraris, we've got Bottas, we've got Ocon. And it looks like Max Verstappen wants to make his way out too.
Verstappen leaving it so he gets a gap. I don't think Lewis Whiteley there, Jonathan Wheatley there, watching his car leave the pit box.
That's even for the pit lane. I'm just gonna say that's slow.
Yeah, he's just created a gap. He was hoping to have a clear track, and now he's got a little toe.
From George Russell.
From George Russell.
He's meant to be getting a toe from Lewis Hamilton, though he's ahead.
You just got a shot of the hill there. That's the cheapest tickets in this track, and the hill. It's very popular with the local people from around. This isn't far away from the track in Austria, the Red Bull Ring, is it?
No, it isn't that far away. It looks...
It's about 2 hours, 1 hour to the border and 1 hour across.
First lap times are coming in right now, though obviously it's deciding to count the laps that... It's starting to count the time that they were in the pit lane, which is infuriating beyond belief.
Yep, Megan is really getting upset at that. Don't know why.
Because I can't tell what they actually have done.
I love the way at this race that people actually watch from the bridges to try and get pictures of the cars. Most of the bridges don't have any viewing because they have advertising covering. But there are gaps at that particular bridge, and it gives great views of the track for the photographers and to get really good above pictures, pictures from above. It is quite a beautiful area, It's especially when it's starting to rain, because it goes dark and light over the hills.
It does. We've got the first lap times in.
In fact, on the top of that hill, there are 2 cars, and they look like they're having a picnic.
The car's having a picnic.
Well, the people in the cars are having a picnic. This is what I said,
Right, so the first lap times are coming in. Leclerc goes top with a 1:17.985. Norris goes second with a 1:18.576. Then and Sainz tops the
who do you think?
Table now with 1:17.505. Dad?
On what we've seen up to now, who do you think it will take the pole?
Hard to tell. I don't know. Though, read through the current times that everyone's done, though I'm going to leave that until Max passes.
I think Max is going to go for 2 laps here and come in. 2 time laps, come in. And I've got a feeling this is Max's pole. But I'm hoping for George.
Right, so...
Sainz is looking, really on it again.
Right, so first right now is Carlos Sainz with a 117.505. Then it's George Russell with a 117.968.
Well, let's stop it. Let's stop qualifying there, and then I'm right.
Then third with Leclerc. 4th, Hamilton. Alonso is 5th. Norris is 6th. 7th is Verstappen. 8th is Ocon, who's for some reason in the pits. Bottas is 9th, and Danny Rick is also in the pits, so he is in 10th.
I believe that Verstappen abandoned that last lap.
Probably. Wait, no. no. Because he actually tried. Because it's quite close. He's only a second off.
He's only a second off.
Yeah.
Seconds a million miles in Formula 1.
If he had abandoned it, he would have done at least 3.
Yeah, it wouldn't register at all, would it? Oh, he must have backed off.
Maybe he feels like he needs to go in the pit.
Dr. Marco there, drove these cars in the heyday of the 1970s, early 80s. And that, unfortunately, that's where he lost his eye. In a crash. But I think he is, when it comes to drivers, he's a genius. You think of how well Red Bull have done, and the champions like Vettel that have, he's moulded into multi-champion like Vettel. And it looks like, that Max is going to be a multi-champion as well.
Right, so we have every single driver right now in the pits. 5 minutes left to go on the session now.
This is the lull period that we was talking about. In practice 2 during the lull period, and practice 3 is practice 1, you generally get the slower cars going out to try and get a clear track, don't you? But when you get up to the last 10, right, very few of them go out before 3 minutes to go. So we've got about another minute and a half before any of them will venture out, unless one of them's going to try something different.
Right, so I'll read through what the order is right now. I know, here's Joshua. Are you joining us now?
Yeah.
So it's goodbye from me.
And it's good night from him. Hello.
Right, so
Budge up.
The order right now, I'm still lead.
Yeah, all right, you can do whatever you like. I'll sit down.
Right.
Budge up a bit more. What's happening to the camera? There we go. Hello, everyone. Hello. I've literally just finished Formula E, so I thought I'll pop right over here straight away and call the F1 as well.
The order...
Go on.
The order...
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad.
So am I! I haven't had a drink in ages.
Go on, Megs.
Right, so the order right now, before they all start to make more lap times, is Sainz first, Russell second, third Leclerc, 4th Hamilton, Alonso is 5th, Norris 6th, 7th is Verstappen, 8th is Ocon, 9th Bottas, and 10th is Ricciardo.
One thing I've got to keep an eye on, though, is the fact that Perez knocked out. Did he hit traffic on his original lap?
On his final lap, he claimed that Magnussen blocked me. Just
gonna go
before
to
he said
stewards.
Magnussen, he said a very specific word.
Oh,
beginning
no.
with F.
No, he didn't. Oh, well, that's game over. That's usually
or
it.
S,
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
Well,
Though-
that's going to be it then, isn't it?
Though Magnussen didn't block him. He was at the side, actually.
Oh, well.
He was just doing a lap time.
Well, that will be nothing then. Magnussen shouldn't get a penalty, but he starts 13th anyway. Perez starts 11th. That should be okay. Just looking down the order, I've been watching. As we know, I've been keeping my eye on
Is that
everything.
the Truman Show?
Yeah, I've been watching on the. I've had the F1 qualifying on the same screen as where Josh was in the race as well. In fact,
I saw.
oh good. So I was keeping an eye on the session. Oh, Verstappen, I think. Have we been hearing anything on the radio? Why haven't you turned the radio up again? Since we turned it down. We literally gone through the whole session without the radio on.
Yes, because you said I couldn't hear anything.
Oh well, we'll double check why we haven't been hearing the radio.
Because you said you can't hear anything on this.
Yes, but you would through here on the iPad. Have you literally gone through the entire session without turning the fader back up?
I didn't know it was down.
Okay, well that explains something at least. Anyway, Sainz on top then.
See what I mean?
Carlos Sainz, correct me if I'm wrong,
mate,
going
you
for...
know what to do.
There you go. Look, team radio. There. Verstappen's having told fail 2-1.
Well, that explains why he's 7th.
So, yeah, Verstappen down in 7th with only a best...
Should we read it back
Fail
off?
2-1. Fail 21, please.
Fail 20...
No power.
Oh,
Stand by.
Verstappen is reporting no power
I
whatsoever.
knew he didn't back off.
So with 1 minute 20 to... Well, less than that now. 1 minute 20 to go of the session. We've got this strange situation where we've got no power for Verstappen. He's right behind Hamilton. So this is what we've been waiting for all season long, isn't it? This is what we've been waiting for. Red Bull are in trouble. We've got Verstappen starting 7th. We've got Perez starting 11th. And we've got right now Sainz 1, Leclerc 3. Let's just see. As Dad said, wait for it, because here comes Verstappen on start lap time. But Leclerc's on 1, and his first sector's purple. And I can't see Sainz's first sector yet, Megs.
Right, so 40 seconds to go now, and Ocon makes his way up into 4th, which I'm shocked. And Alonso makes his way up into 5th.
Works.
So the first 3 rows of the grid will look...
Well, here comes Sainz. Look,
Right.
Sainz is around the last corner. He's going to take the pole position time first. Ricciardo goes 7th with 19 seconds to go. This is
my.
Leclerc first, though. Does Leclerc beat his time?
Leclerc does, though only goes into 2nd, so if it stays like that, it's going to be Ferrari up there on the front of the grid tomorrow.
Here's Sainz coming out of the last corner again. He's going to start pushing. Verstappen is not good. Verstappen's 10th at the moment. He's going to start last. Checker flags out. Here's Sainz.
Right, Sainz beats his own lap time with a 1:17.421, and it passes the line first. And
Lando.
next up, Lando goes into 3rd with a 1:17.769.
Verstappen's complaining of no power on the radio. He's saying no bleeping power. But here comes Russell to spoil Ferrari's day. Verstappen's 24 seconds off in sector 2.
No DRS, mate. No DRS.
No DRS for Hamilton either.
Russell goes top with a 1:17.377.
George Russell is on pole position for the first time in his Formula One career. Eat that! Mercedes are back. George Russell is on pole position by 44 thousandths.
Hamilton stays in 7th because he's pits.
I can't see anyone.
Verstappen pits.
Verstappen's
He
out of
stays
it.
in 10th.
George Russell has just
Ocon
taken
pits.
his first ever pole position in Formula One, a 1:17.377. Do you know, I'm glad I came to the commentary box now. I didn't want to miss that. So he was second in Belgium last year. He nearly had pole, but Russell's on pole.
Oh my.
Should we hear? Are we gonna hear it? You made it. He gets screamed over the radio too. I do not believe it. George Russell, Mercedes' first pole position of 2022, and it comes from George Russell, not from Lewis Hamilton. The battle tomorrow for 70 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix will go the way to George Russell. He will lead them down. Hamilton is 7th, Verstappen is 10th. This is exactly what Ferrari needed to try and catch up that 63-point gap in the standings.
Question, why has Danny Rick just stopped on the track, and why has also Lando Norris?
I think there must be someone on the track. Norris is 4th, so he missed out. But how on earth did George find that lap time?
No
In
idea.
a Mercedes that is so off the pace, so off the power,
It was 400ths faster.
he is quicker by 4/400ths. Brilliant. Yeah, he had to clear that. There's more. Yeah. No worry from Verstappen. Let's go for tomorrow. Let's hear from Russell.
That was not. No points for Saturday. Let's go tomorrow. Amazing. Amazing.
No points for Saturday. Let's go tomorrow. This is Russell on the radio.
You made it! Come on! Woo! Come on, mate! Yes! Woo! Come on! You beauty! You beauty!
I think he was happy, don't you?
Yeah, but
Amazing!
it's not.
We needed that.
Yeah, and I'm going to need a set of hearing aids after that.
There's more. Here is his second radio message.
You made it! Come on!
That's the same one. It's the same one. Should we play the third one? Let's see if that's different. I think it is. No points for Saturday.
That was not. No points for Saturday. Let's go tomorrow. Amazing.
Yeah, same thing. George Russell.
That was not.
George Russell is on pole position for tomorrow's race. His first ever pole position in Formula One, and he's done it. I mean, I was looking at the list that I gave you earlier on today, looking about the pole sitters as well. George Russell has been absent. It's his 70th Grand Prix start in Formula One. He'll line up for the first time tomorrow in P1. And with rain in the air, Russell could win tomorrow.
There could be a red.
Yeah, I just realised actually he's missing the race. Yeah. He's missing the race, both of you. That's no good.
Yeah, and...
What, sorry? We were. Yeah, you're not now. As well. That's an amazing one. Relax, Josh, says Gwenwyn as well in the chat as well. Well, we're trying to find a way quickly, if I can move over here, that we can hear from the top three. Yeah.
I thought we were on a quick off.
I want to hear from George Russell personally, so I'm going to stand behind the television, try and find what's going to happen. Where's the? Oh, there it is. Let's listen. Turn up the middle.
Take any satisfaction in the fact that your main rival in the championship is only 10th.
Yeah, I mean, mostly we are focusing on ourselves. So today's not been a great day. I've been struggling massively with the tires and just had a lot of inconsistency to put the tires in the right window with those conditions. And so I struggled to put a lap together. But we'll look into it. I'm pretty sure we've got the pace in the car to come back a bit more at the front tomorrow. So we'll focus on that and hopefully we have a better Sunday.
Well, your overall pace at the Ferrari garage this weekend has been pretty impressive. So does that give you comfort for tomorrow's race, which seems to be in your favor?
Yeah, the pace is there. So we just need to understand what went on with the tires today. And I'm pretty sure that we can come back tomorrow.
Good luck for tomorrow then. Carlos, congratulations. It seemed to be your qualifying today, but just at the last minute, George got the pole position. You seem to be much more comfortable in that Ferrari at the moment.
Yeah, definitely feeling better and better every race and every qualifying session today. I felt like I had the pace to do the pole position. It went away from us there in the last sector with a few snaps through the lap, but yeah, congratulations to George because he must have done a pretty good lap there in the American, and yeah, we will race from P2 tomorrow.
Well, we saw you come through the field in France, so we know that you know how to battle. This track is not easy to overtake on, but do you have the hopes that you can win the race tomorrow? Yeah,
I think we have the pace. Obviously, a start and the tire management will play a key role, like always. The Mercedes pace is a bit of an unknown, and we will have to see how the race plays out tomorrow, and if we can get them at the start, then better. But I think it will be an exciting race.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. George, a massive congratulations. The fans are obviously extremely happy for you. Your first pole position in Formula One. How are you feeling?
Over the moon, absolutely buzzing. I mean, yesterday was probably our worst Friday of the season, and everybody last night was working so hard. We didn't really know what direction to go in. And then that last lap, got around turn one, mega turn one, went around turn two. Turn two was mega. And the lap time just kept on coming. And I came across the line, looked at the screen, and so we went P1, and that was an incredible feeling. Well, it's obviously an incredible personal moment for you, but it's also an incredible moment for Team Mercedes. So are you telling us that Mercedes is back? I don't know, to be honest. We need to look into it and understand where that came from today. There's a few ideas we have. At the end of the day, there's no points for qualifying. But we generally have good race pace, but the Ferraris looked very fast on Friday. But we're going to be absolutely going for it. But either way, that was a pretty special day, no doubt. Okay, well, massive congratulations again. Thank you very much.
Right, so it's really good for George Russell for his first pole position, and let's hope that will lead to a first win, because that'll be 2 drivers in 1 year to have that, if on the same day, if that does happen. So, right, so George Russell comes in pole, and for some reason my headset just went really funny. Sainz second, Leclerc third, fourth is Norris, fifth Ocon, Alonso 6th, Hamilton 7th, Bottas 8th, Ricciardo is in 9th, 10th is Verstappen, then Perez is in 11th, so it's side by side for the 2 Red Bulls. Not having a good day, are they? Zhou is in 12th, Magnussen 13th, 14th is Stroll, Schumacher is 15th, Tsunoda 16th, Albon 17th, Vettel 18th, Gasly 19th, and Latifi's down in 20th. Well, that was certainly an interesting qualifying with a very happy ending, I'd like to think.
First pole for George, and down to turn 1 tomorrow. He's got the 2 Ferraris alongside. We've got 11th on the grid for Perez, 10th on the grid for Verstappen. It's perfect. It's literally perfect for the last race for the summer break. Get Red Bull vulnerable, get Ferrari back up there, get our title fight back, and then just see what's going to happen next. I'm hoping for a George Russell race win tomorrow. Really am.
Let's hope that was a win for George.
You're signing off. You're the lead.
I know, sometimes I just forget. Right, so thank you to Ian Birch and Joshua Birch for being my co-hosts. That's weird to say. Right, so join us for the next sessions coming up. Not right away, though
IndyCar
soon.
next, isn't it? Yeah.
You're doing IndyCar.
I'm doing IndyCar. F2 is next at 5 to 5, and then IndyCar's at 10 past 5.
Right, so that's what's to look up for. So thank you for joining us, and goodbye.